Hello everyone, very good evening to all. I am Trushali Dodia. I am pursuing my Masters in English Literature from the Department of English, MK Bhavnagar University. And the title of my today's paper presentation is A Feminist Study of Selected Indian Advertisements. Before I begin this presentation, there are certain questions that arises in our mind. That is feminism still irrelevant in our society? How is it perceived and understood by the people? How women are portrayed, and how does the entertainment industry, which has been a prominent industry, along with social media, contribute to this portrayal? Does social media affect how we see gender roles? To what extent this social media shapes our views on gender portrayals and gender roles in India? And the most important one is, are there any specific trends that we can identify through this? Pramod K. Nair, in his prominent work, An Introduction to Cultural Study, he says that cultural studies is interested in how communication and community are interlinked, and this communication is about language, discourse and representation. Moreover, representation is about mass communication, as he says that advertisements serves as mass communication, shaping societal perception and consumption. When we are talking about advertisements, there should be it is important to note that the beginning of advertisement was in 16th or 17th century, with the beginning of the arrival of magazines and newspaper. But in the later half of the 20th century, which mark an era of great scientific innovation, with this there come a digitization, and there is a beginning of digital advertising. What's the sole purpose of advertisements? We all know that advertisements are meant for the marketing of certain products. But apart from that, these ads are essential factors that carry the cultural and societal beliefs that shapes the way we look towards the society. So basically, ad reflects what's there in the society. As Pramod Nair also talks about how girl and boy are given different tools for their life. Like girl have been given the tools related to households, and boys are given on the other hand. So gender roles are very prominent in advertisements that I'll see in this presentation. I'll first talk about advertisements and the portrayal of women in it. The prominent work of Rosalinda Gill, Gender and Media. In that, she talks about how media studies have become essential in shaping societal perception or related to gender roles and feminist discourse. She also talks about that women and men both are portrayed distinctively in society, and thus in advertisements. There has been certain foundational work like gender advertisements, ways of seeing by John Berger, but I'll deal with the very contemporary trends of advertisements. There has been a lot of research done for this advertisements, in which one of that Raj Gopal and Gills, they both have examined how advertisements and media images strongly influences gender stereotypes more than feminist literature or academic research. As gender, social media or advertisements reach to illiterate, they are not having concern with academic fields and other things. They can be anyone who can be in touch with these portrayals. Barbara B. Stern also poses questions that has been posed by Holland regarding to literature about what, who and how. This can be also connected to, as he connects with the advertisements as well. What are the field, who are the consumers, and how the process of this advertising, so all are considered in the terms of portrayal of women. Even Matlin's sex stereotype, which talks about how women bodies are depicted differently from men's. Even women are presented in much sensual and vulnerable positions to enhance the production and the sales production. But there are certain advertisements like shaving cream, they have no concern with women, but though there are portrayal of women. Even and much many a time, most of the time, women are more women are mostly represented to the traditional roles like mothers and housewives. Even the beauty standards matters a lot, as the all the brand ambassadors of this beauty brands and other things, they are too skinny and beautiful and they are having a fair skin. This affects a lot to the society. In this, language and narratives are very important, as Simone de Beauvoir says that one is not born but rather becomes a woman. These advertisements contribute in this a lot. The use of language, the advertisements are using the language, as Derrida also says that language bears within itself the necessity of its own critic. Though the language is much the concept is much progressing, though there has been the use of language that is not reflecting the same concept that has been portrayed throughout the ad. Then the preference of songs that you'll see also, that indicates the gender stereotypes. I have taken some of the examples. There are many such ads that depict the same, but I have taken a few examples like this beverages of slice. In that body posture, as you can see on the screen as well, moreover the music, selection of music like Rasya, Jana, Sha, Pyar Ka, all the things are related to the stereotypical representation of women. Even at the bottom right, you can see the advertisement screenshot, which is about slice swayambar. So it creates a kind of a traditional concept and a metaphorical link between choosing slice and selecting a life partner. So it is going back to that traditional concept. Even the Pepsi's history, portrayal of history and slogans like "Yahi hai right choice" from "Dil Mange More," they having the same appeal of desire. Even the phrase like "Meri Jaan," which has been which is showing the personalized connection between consumer and product, but though the focal point is this women only. Even male body spray, I have taken the example of Wild Stone body spray. So in that also the women are portrayed in a very conventional or very sensuous manner, like intensify your game, such log to notice karegi, all the things, and the noticed who are noticing women. So this is carried throughout. Now body image and beauty standards plays a crucial role, as Naomi Wolf's work The Beauty Myth talks about the initial very foundational work in this field. There are many soap advertisements like Nirma, Liril, Santur, which plays a significant emphasis on their women's appearance. In the case of Nirma soap, there is an iconic jingle to Husna Pari, and there is a persistent focus on the beauty of women. Then in the one of the research, Rajgopal and Gales named it's the image that is imperfect. In it, they are talking about how these advertisements can create an illusion about beauty standards. So by seeing these advertisements, women feel themselves as being imperfect, and they think that using certain products will remove their imperfections. So this beauty standards and body image also being reflected a lot. So out of this portrayal of women, the new concept came named femvertising. So it is the basic combination of feminism and advertisements, which aim is to promote gender equality and empower women by challenging traditional stereotypes. There are several advertisements in India as well, which are having the changing trends towards the portrayal of women and their work. There has been a lot of research done under it. There are researchers who came to the conclusion that the portrayal of women in Indian advertising has been changed over the time. Some has said that there is a mixed representation. There are representation of this gender stereotypes, but we still need a feminist study to study all the advertisements. Let's take an example of Santur soap ad, which take a slightly different approach by showcasing a woman who attracts someone with her skills. But later on, she is revealed to be a mother. So it is like tracing back the same stereotypical representations, and at the same time there is a kind of contradiction that the women portrayed in the advertisement is very skinny, having a fair skin and matching to the beauty standard through all the advertisements. Then we need a deconstructive reading, as I initially said about the Derrida and the language of advertisement. So we need a feminist critic. There has been a lot of campaign under this Dove soap, which talks about stop beauty test, and accompanied by the question that कब तक चलेगी खूबसूरती की ये बदसूरत Parak, ultimately how much beauty is sufficient, and having a subtitle see virtues not flaws, which encourages a shift in perspective, urging viewers to focus on qualities beyond physical appearance. But at the same time, if you will see other advertisements by Dove, they are having the same concept of a beauty standard in certain stereotypical ways as well. Ariel, this detergent powder have this hashtag, the share the Lord, is laundry only women's job. Then Nirma washing powder having 4 women helping ambulance. Tata Tea also came up with a campaign with the equality, in which Shah Rukh Khan is also discussing the imbalance between men and women presented in movie. So he says that अब से मेरी हर फिल्म में हीरोइन का नाम आगे होगा, which signifies a substantial change, and that has a tagline that बड़े बदलाव के लिए हर एक को छोटी शुरुआत करनी पड़ेगी. For the big changes, we need each and everyone to contribute in that. Even the Tata Tea's other ad, in which a father who is, despite of his son's race, attribute the loss to a girl, and there is a tagline then that inequality gets learned and equality needs teaching. There are various campaigns done under this equality and all the things, femvertising, but still there is a gap that we can see in between portrayal of this advertisement. There is a still persistent portrayal of women, and that's why we need to look at the advertisements with a careful eye. So I'd like to conclude with the paper's conclusion that though the trends of gender portrayal are changing in over the time, but there still is a continuous representation of such stereotypes, and the questions of this gender portrayal and stereotypical representation of women, this question need to be addressed with time, and for that we need a feminist approach to deal with the changing form of gender stereotypes and representations. So we need a feminist approach, though the trends has been changed, but there is a still persistency in it. So this is all about my side. These are the references that I have used in preparing this present paper. Thank you so much.